Thank you for joining me. This is Dr. Natasha Oquendo here with another part of the series, Invitation to Queendom Book Club. Thank you for joining me. And if you can, put some comments in the comment section. If you have some questions about what I'll be sharing, then let me know. I would love to hear from you, right? I would love to interact with you. But listen, if you haven't already, go ahead and check out the first two videos concerning the series. I started out talking about who are you, and that was dealing with the identity of us as women. And then the next one was who are you becoming? And so today we're talking about what's stopping you. That's right. What's preventing you from moving forward, from forward movement in your life? Whether that's your life, whether that's your goals, your dreams, your vision, your personality, your relationships, your ministry, your business, all of those different things. These are groundwork and the framework that it takes to move forward. So let's deal with it. And I have about 5 things listed here just for this particular part of the series. But the first one I want to deal with, and it is kind of a spin-off from the last installment. So you may want to check that one out. Who are you becoming? But this is number 1. Are you stuck in some past trauma or some past dysfunction? Meaning, was there a situation or a circumstance that took place that you just cannot seem to get past? A lot of times, these things take place in our life, and whether there is some bitterness or some unforgiveness or resentment that sets up in our heart and in our mind concerning it, a lot of times we will get stuck, and it will stop us from producing movement or being able to move forward. So that lets me know that that is something that needs to be dealt with. So whether it's there, hey, sit there and do a mind dump, right? Meaning write everything down that comes into your mind or your heart concerning somebody or something, and see if there is something there, right? It doesn't hurt to check this periodically. This one, it's kind of like a heart check. The next one I want to deal with is having a wrong perspective, or having a closed off perspective, or even a negative perspective. But in all essence, dealing with a perspective, maybe it's a particular point of view that you have towards something. And I'm gonna give you a good example. So if you are trying to move into a wealthy space, right, where you believe that you're called to produce some form of wealth, then your viewpoint concerning finances, concerning money, how you spend, all of that comes into play. And so these are things that you need to deal with in your perspective, because you can only move as far as your mindset will take you, if that makes sense. And so maybe it's the way that you're looking or the way that you're thinking about a particular thing. Another example is maybe weight loss. The way you preparing your food may be very unhealthy, and you may need to change up from using the regular vegetable oils and getting over into maybe the virgin olive oil. And you're like, I don't like how the olive oil tastes, all of these different things. So maybe you need to start changing your perspective and doing some research and finding healthier options, right? Maybe it's your judgment or your discernment. I can honestly say in past times, things that I looked at, my discernment was pinpoint accurate, but my reaction or my response or the way I handled the thing, back then you may be like, deal with it head on. But as in now, you have to change up your approach, if that makes sense. And you have to approach things maybe differently. And it's not that you're overshadowing it, but you're just different in your approach. So maybe that's where you are. Maybe you are stuck in a perspective, and maybe God is challenging that perspective or wanting you to change it. Even the attitude that you take about specific things. I know how it is sometimes. Us as human beings, we can show our disapproval all on our face, like, I ain't feeling that. And, so maybe it's a particular attitude towards something that needs to be tweaked or needs to shift, right? And so number 3, are you emotionally healthy? Meaning, are you emotionally stable enough and emotionally intelligent enough to go to the next level? Are you up and down in your emotions, or because many times God could be allowing you to be held back to some capacity because he already knows that maybe you can't handle or carry the weight of where you're trying to go emotionally. Maybe it's like, oh, it's just emotionally draining. Where are you now? Are you going through bouts of being just emotionally drained and things of that nature? And so with that being said, it's time to really get yourself emotionally fit, right? Meaning take your mind and all of those things that are just really weighing heavy on you. Start really dealing with those things and taking things off of your plate that don't need to be there. Taking responses off your plate that don't need to be there. Everything does not deserve your full-fledged attention and response. And so you have to pick your poison, if that makes sense. Pick the things that are important, and the things that you cannot control, then give them over to God. That's the best thing I can say. I'm at that age where I'm giving stuff over to God. Like, can't carry that. You know what I'm saying? I hit 50. So it's like, oh, okay. I'm going to give that over to God. And somebody said amen. Listen. And so with that being said, let me touch this with the emotional, being emotionally healthy or emotionally mature or intelligent, or however we want to word it. You know when it's something that you need to work on emotionally, because if your emotions feel an atmosphere and shift the atmosphere and make it heavy, you get what I'm saying? Where people, or even if you are the type of person and everybody just can pick up on something's wrong, something's wrong, something's wrong, something's wrong, something's wrong. And you're just getting all this attention and people are constantly asking you, is something wrong? You all right? Then that means that you need to do an emotional check, right? And really, really start trying to harness those emotions, because your next level depends on it, right? And so look, number 4, do you have a mature attitude? Are you into attitude maturity yet? Meaning, is your attitude constantly pleasant, or do you bring just this energy that's like a repellent? Because a lot of times people have this attitude sometime where you could just see them coming, and it's almost like, I don't even have the energy to deal with that today, type thing. Does your attitude reflect in your behavior? Meaning, are you able to interact and work with other people in a cooperative behavior, and able to communicate your discrepancies in a peaceful manner, in a way that is not coming across like we getting ready to fight, right? And so these are things that you need to work on, because maybe your next level, you need to harness that or pull that in or control that better, or, not wear it on your face. Some people just, you know how we are as human beings. We wear our disapproval on our face, and everybody know we disapprove of it. And then we bring that type of energy in an atmosphere, even in our posture. How we, you like, everything about you exudes like the attitude, and the attitude is like the forerunner of your life. It presents yourself, and to the point where people tiptoeing around you because you have this attitude. If you're that person, that means that is something that you need to deal with before you can even really go to your next level, depending on what that next level is. Whether it's your business, trust me, if you're doing business, nobody wants to do business with somebody who has just this nasty attitude. And I'll take it a step further for those of us who are in business and ministry and whatever else we're doing. Kind of check at the door the attitudes that are around you working as well. And I just feel led to just throw that one in there, because sometimes the people you have around you may have the nasty attitudes, and that repels people, whether that is your products or whatever you're doing. And I know that one from experience, years of experience. Hear me when I say that. I know it when I see it. I've been in atmospheres where the person or the CEO is very pleasant, but then the people who they have around them working is like, let me stay back because I ain't got time. You get what I'm saying? And it's almost like this repellent where it could be a hindrance towards moving forward or scaling your business or your ministry or whatever. So when you're checking your attitude, make sure that the ones that are close with you and who are interactive with others as well, make sure you check them too. Do these attitude checks, because it is very helpful for the next level. Last but not least, I want to deal with number 5. Are you entangled in low fruit relationships? I word it like this: low fruit relationships, because whether that's spiritually, low fruit relationships, physically, mentally, emotionally, relationships that don't challenge you or push you forward or encourage you to move forward. Whether that could be a relationship, as in whether you're in a marriage or a significant other. Maybe there's some abuse there, whether it's physical, mental, emotional, or whatever the case. Maybe there's something need to be done, because that relationships can really hinder your movement forward in business and life and ministry and everything else. And you will be held up, and you'll be wondering, why am I held up? Why am I held up? Well, you have to check the relationships that are going on around you and see if they are fit for the next level, right? And if not, then maybe some distance need to go there, whether it be temporarily until we grow, because we all should be growing, forever growing, right? But not even just in that perspective. And let me do this disclaimer: I am not a co-signer of any abusive behavior, because I'm a runner. They'll be like, she's a runner. There she goes. She's a runner. But thanks be to God, he blessed me with what I need, right? And hopefully you'll be blessed, if you haven't already, with what you need. But not on the abusive tip, but maybe it's just people who are around you in a comfort zone. They're not trying to do more, and they have a problem with you trying to do more. Then maybe you need to kind of pull back a little bit in this season to get yourself built up for whatever the vision or the dream or the goal that you have inside of you. And I don't care if it's just to lose weight. Maybe you need to get around other people that want to lose weight. Maybe your best friend is a couch potato right now in this season, but you want to get on the move and get on the go. And so even if you can't do it and start it on your own, then, hopefully you'll be connected. Once you start moving in something now, different connections will come, and people, even if it's for a season, that you link up with them to accomplish the goal, right? But these are just some of the examples of what could be stopping you and giving you a chance to really do an inventory check, if that makes sense. I want to end this out with my 4th key from Invitation to Queendom. The 4th key says, be consumed with determination. And that is what I release to you. And that is what I really prophetically speak over you today as you're hearing this, that you have the determination, that you be consumed with determination. Determined to come out of whatever wrong perspective it may be that's hindering you. Determined to come out of past trauma and dysfunction, whether it's bitterness, unforgiveness, resentment, whatever the case, that you would be determined, consumed with determination to come out of that. Even emotionally healthy, that you're determined to have the emotional intelligence that you need to move forward in your life, that you would be determined to have the mature attitude that you need, the mature perspective that you need to operate, and also that you would meet and connect with the right relationships that fit where you're trying to go, right? Even if you have to connect yourself with a mentor or a coach to help you get there, right? And so these are just some of the things that I put out there so you can, do an inventory check, because your next level is knocking. This is Dr. Natasha Oquendo. Thank you for joining me. Until next time, and listen, go and check out my website at natashaoquendo.com. Get the free gift. Download the free gift. And I would love to hear from you in the comments. Be blessed. Till next time.